Hey guys, welcome to another Mechanical Minute. Quick videos and random relevant topics for you to keep in reference when needed. Here we go. This time we're looking at bolts, torque to angle and torque to yield. This topic is not new information, but wanted to throw a quick video out highlighting the similarities and differences of both these style fasteners. We do see both styles in applications like internal engine repair and even steering and suspension. For example, the full-size Ford Transit axle and brake fasteners. We all know that if you don't replace those because they are torque to yield, one-time use bolts, that they break while they're driving down the road and the axles fall out. Both torque to angle and torque to yield fasteners are installed to a low base torque using a torque wrench. Then the installation is completed by rotating them a certain number of degrees, sometimes at several steps. Using this installation method removes the factors that can affect proper clamp load, like this list here. Thread and bolt, head friction, clean or dirty threads, torque wrench calibration, lube or lack thereof applied to the fastener, overcoming the static torque friction already applied, tight installation areas, and speed the fastener is being rotated all affect the torque spec. Similarities between the torque to angle and torque to yield bolts. Both styles of bolts are rotated to a specific degree, as we just said. Both start out at a low base or starting torque to start the process, and both types ensure that the right clamp load is being applied. Both styles are more accurate than just using a torque wrench itself to achieve the final load on a clamped joint. The differences between the torque to angle and torque to yield bolts primarily is reusability. Every bolt has a limit to the amount it can stretch, known as the yield of the bolt. So, as the name implies, torque to yield bolts are torqued to the yield point, which means the limit. So, they are weaker when removed and they cannot not reliably recreate the same clamping force again without stretching and possibly breaking. They are one time use bolts because of this fact. The torque to angle bolts mean they are torqued to a set angle below the yield limit. And when the load is removed, they return back to original length. So because of this, they can be reused and you'll be able to recreate the proper clamping force again. However, always check the torque to angle bolts, even though they are reusable, before you reinstall them. Obvious signs of stretching like necking or oblong out of shape threads or any other issues, then obviously just replace them. Pretty much when in doubt, especially in critical scenarios like internal engine work, it's just cheap insurance to replace them. So if you don't know, just replace them. Also, a quick tip when installing these bolts, either kind, use a paint marker to put marks on them after going to your base torque to identify which ones have been done. Mark them all at the same point, like 12 o'clock position. Then you can quickly see which ones haven't been touched yet. If you had to walk away or were interrupted, you can start right where you left off without worrying about not tightening one or retorquing one that has been done, or even worse, possibly breaking it and having to start over because that sucks. There you go, paint mark at 12 o'clock, and then you can look at your 90-degree implements or whatever. And there you have it. If you know how something's supposed to work, you can better determine why it isn't working. This has been a Mechanical Minute. Thanks, guys.